I do want to say just a few things before we turn it over. You know, as Native Americans, we are not just around at Thanksgiving. We are not just around for one day. I want you to remember that as Native Americans, as Cherokees, as Onondagas, Iroquois, we have a lot to give you, and we're still giving. We want to say thank you, and for the Eastern Band Cherokee Indians, as warriors, we want to say thank you to the Georgia Swarm for bringing us by. We love you, boys.
Please welcome on the field the American Legion Steve Youngbeer, post 143 color guard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome NLL across today's match plays, along with season ticket holders to the field. Please welcome Cherokee Youth Stickball players for today's team and gentlemen, please remain standing as the Cherokee royalty sings the national anthem.
Tilted forward.
Getting us started with today's ceremony of ball drop is the Eastern Band Cherokee Kings Vice Chief Rich Steve, who's accompanied by his wife and 2 children, and
Check.
Travis Smith.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
Why not?
Let's please welcome to midfield the 6 Native American players from your Georgia Swarm.
Biff, how many? I need 3. 3, 4, 4.
From Six Nations Mohawk Birmingham, Windsor Green, Randy Scott, and Johnny Powell. And from Kanaka Nation, Gerald Thompson, Lyle Thompson, and Miles Thompson. A great big thank you goes out to the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians at Harris Cherokee Casino Resort. Now let's invite Johnny Palace for the Swarm and Captain Dan Coach for the Mammoth. The face-off circle for today's ball drop.
Welcome back to Harris Cherokee Casino Field at Infinite Energy Arena as we get set for the Swarm and the Colorado Mammoth. Again, Brian Silcott joining me as we get our ceremonial ball drop here completed. We take a quick look at the rules of lacrosse for those who are still new to the sport, Brian.
Yep, and the important ones we always mention is that there is a over and back at the midfield line. You have 8 seconds to get the ball across the midfield line, and then you cannot cross back over. It is a change of possession. Also, that we do have 4 15-minute quarters. In Canada, they play 3 periods. Here we play 4 15-minute quarters of lacrosse.
Let's take a look at the opposing goalie for the evening for the Colorado Mammoth, Alex Bouquet, who is 5-2 on the year. He is 7th in the NLL in goals against and in save percentage. And right there is Coach Pat Coyle of the Colorado Mammoth, along with Chris Gill and Dan Stroop. And this is a team right now that has the best record in the NLL, and they've played well all year long.
Yeah, and Colorado is a team. They're all about having a lot of good players, and they play well together.
Brody McDonald in net once again for the Swarm. McDonald 3-6 on the year, 13.8 goals against, and a .737 save percentage. And the Swarm coached by Ed Coyle, who's certainly here in his Ed Como rather, in his first year here in Georgia. we've talked about in the pregame. They need to play 4 quarters.
Absolutely. You know, Ed's been around this league for a long time. He's fully aware of that. He mentioned it in the open, and I'm sure he's trying to get these guys dialed in and focused so we get 4 quality focused quarters out of the guys.
All right, we are set to go here at the Hive. It's the Infinite Energy Arena. It'll be Jordan McIntosh taking the face-off against Dan Coates. And McIntosh, 49% face-off wins this year, and 44 for Dan Coates. McIntosh, one of the better face-off guys in the league. And he had a very good game last week against a team that did not have the best face-off man in the league in Jay Thornburg. So McIntosh gave a lot of extra possessions to the Swarm. You take a look at the officials there. Ian Garrison, the crew chief, Ryan Fowler, the assistant referee, and John Oshner, the shot clock operator, as the Mammoth get the first possession of the game. And there is Callum Crawford, the former Swarm player, Swarm leader in points in the team's history.
Yeah, and we lost him to free agency, tough situation. And he is definitely one of the leaders now for Colorado. But it also means the Swarm is very familiar with him, and hopefully will be set to slow his game down a bit tonight.
So the Swarm get their first offensive possession as we see them working around behind the net. And there's Jesse King with a shot that is wide, and a long rebound comes out towards midfield. And there's a race for it right now, and sprinting all the way through as it goes over and back, since it did not hit the net technically. So the Mammoth get the possession. Yeah,
and the key to letting that play out is that Colorado has the opportunity to pick it up and go directly to the goal, so the referee lets it play out to see what happens.
We are about a minute into the action here in the first quarter between the Mammoth and the Swarm, and these two teams met all the way back in the first game of the season for the Swarm, the inaugural game for the Georgia Swarm after the move, and it was a back-and-forth game. He was going to shot and a save for McDonald right there. But it was the first game of the year. It was a back-and-forth game, and the Swarm had a tie game and gave up the go-ahead goal with 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
And it was a high-scoring game, and a lot of people criticized Colorado's defense at that point in the season.
And a low shot and a goal from Ethan O'Connor, or Chad Tutton, rather.
Getting Chad Tutton involved is going to be key.
Very soft goal given up by Bouquet. I mean, it was just a low, wasn't exactly a very hard shot, but a low shot from Tutton that bounced right past him.
Yeah, as we see it on the replay, you see the defender step out wide to the side, and Chad's able to reach around his legs and hips. I don't think Bouquet even saw that coming.
Well, Bouquet got a piece of it, but it deflected by him, and the Swarm get the early lead. Tutton is 13th of the year.
As I was saying before, Colorado was playing some new systems in that first game, and they really feel they're going to be able to do a better job defending the Swarm tonight than they did in the first game.
And is Cupido as the Mammoths switch up players and get the offensive set that they want on the field. And here is Crawford now working down low and then throwing it across. It looked like it was Adam Jones, whose shot was deflected into the stands.
We will see the ball in Crawford's stick a lot tonight. He can score goals, but he's also an outstanding setup man, leading the league in assists right now.
Crawford and Jones and a shot and a save right there from McDonald from Crawford. You can see real quick the Mammoth send 5 guys off and 5 guys on.
Absolutely. They're all about getting the defenders on. They got young, fast, athletic defenders that they want out on the floor. They'll let them run in transition, and then they want to get the road guys on.
And then Powell, so that was Randy Stotts rather, just missed a wide open shot right in front of the goal, went over his head. And it's picked up by Thompson as the team scramble for the ball right in front of the benches, and then it goes into the bench. We get a stoppage in play, and the Swarm will get the possession.
We've talked a lot about moving the ball for Georgia against a fast defense. That's going to be key. Get the ball moving, try to get those guys out of position, and we've seen 2 good opportunities to score goals off ball movement already.
Stotts cutting in towards the goal, dumping it back for Thompson, who has to pick it up off the turf, and he gets checked hard. And now it's Jesse King, and a shot from Thompson saved by Bouquet. And now ball's loose right in front of the net, picked up by Jackson. He gets hit hard, ball loose in the air. Swarm have a fresh 30 seconds here on the shot clock, and they'll send it back towards midfield to recuperate.
Yeah, wisely reset, get set back up, get the offense going again.
And you got to wonder, it's a different lineup out here for Coach Como. No Kyle Matisse, no Johnny Powell. Another save from Bouquet on a wide open shot. It's a little bit of a different offensive set than we've seen in games past.
Yeah, and he said he was going to try some new things. I think he's trying to feel it out, find the right combinations that's going to consistently score goals, which is the key we've seen from the Swarm. They're able to score goals. It's about consistently scoring goals.
Crawford moving in and dumps it back towards midfield, and now it's Mike Burke over to Crawford. You can see Crawford signaling out for some play or some help there. Now he just tries to cut inside, dumps it, and you get a violation. Go ahead.
Saw a little flash there of how quickly Callum Crawford can get that ball out of his stick when he sees an opening. That was a beautiful feed to the backside right there.
1-0 lead earlier on here for the Swarm as we've got 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. And there's Randy Stotts being checked up against the board. Ball is loose and picked up by the Mammoth.
You can see early on the Swarm are being very cautious about giving up transition. Really erring on the side of getting back on defense to make sure they don't let Colorado run in transition.
And now it's Eli McLaughlin. McLaughlin back up to Wardle. Now Crawford has it back one more time over to Burke. Shot deflected and goes wide. Still 5 left to shoot, and the Swarm will pick it up. And we get a quick stoppage in play. It looks like we're going to get a penalty call here.
Looks like we're going to get a slash call on the Swarm.
And Kyle Matisse jogging over to the box. Here's take a listen to Ian
Georgia,
Garrison.
number 46. 2 minutes, slashing.
And that is Kyle Matisse head to the box. So the Swarm will be on the penalty kill. And the special teams has let the Swarm down this year. Last in the league right now in penalty kill. And for power play for the Mammoth, they're 4th in the league, scoring on 28 of 55 attempts. We talked about Callum Crawford, who leads the NLL into assists coming into this weekend. As we get a shot from Crawford, looked like it went off the post there. He has 19 power play assists, 19 of his 60 assists, 1/3 of them almost on the power play.
Yeah, that's a lot of assists. Obviously on the power play, he's the leader overall, and on the power play, he's got great hands and great vision as well.
And McDonald with a save right there on a point-blank shot from Adam Jones. Brody's come up big so far here in the early going with some tough stops. And there you get a goal from Mike Mallory, who's left alone.
And right there, that's been a consistent problem for Georgia. That time we didn't get a slide at all. They often don't slide beyond the middle of the floor. That time they didn't come at all.
And you could set that up. Crawford's going to get the assist on that, but you could see there was a lot of attention being paid to Crawford as he was starting to creep his way towards the goal. Mallory was left alone, standing right next to Brody.
And no defender ever came across the backside. I don't know if we'll see it from this angle, but there should be a defender coming across from the backside, and he's not even in the picture.
You could see all the guys flashing out towards where Crawford was standing.
Yep.
And we have a tie ball game here, under 10 minutes left in the first quarter. There's Joey Cupido. And the Mammoth will set things up near midfield. As you can see the players coming on and off. And Crawford, that right-handed shot will stay right there on that left side in the corner. And Jones with a shot and a goal. Adam Jones.
Adam Jones can shoot the lacrosse ball, and Crawford loves to get it to him on that backside. He makes it very difficult to play tough, solid defense on the inside because he can pick corners from distance like that. You got to step out on him, which is going to open up other opportunities on the inside, but you have to get out on Adam Jones' hands when you're shooting.
Jones comes into the weekend 15th in the NLL in scoring. That's his 25th goal of the year. He now has 62 points. And Crawford and Jones are two names you'll hear us say a lot for the Mammoth. Two of their other big scorers, John Grant and Jeremy Noble, not playing in today's game.
Yeah, Jones is used to having John Grant Jr. over on that side with him, and Jr.'s usually plays low as the crease position with Jones playing up high.
You mentioned John Grant. He's a 2-time NLL MVP and a very veteran guy. 41-year-old, kind of just getting some rest today from Pat Coyle.
Yeah, if you were to build a box across Mount Rushmore, there's no question John Grant Jr.'s face would be on there.
And we get a violation of the stoppage of play here as that's Mitch Belisle and Eli McLaughlin getting tangled up. We have a 2-1 lead for the Colorado Mammoth over the Swarm. We'll take a timeout and come back for Georgia Swarm Lacrosse here on Fox Sports Southeast.
The first time anybody watches an NLL game, the pace is something that takes you back.
With a 30-second shot clock, no matter what, there's a change of possession very quick.
It's a high-paced sport, but it's also really family-friendly. You can expect a lot of action.
Fastest game on 2 feet, like they say.
It was high energy, the music was great, the fans were awesome, and we just had a blast.
brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our app, go online to westernunion.com, or visit one of over 51,000 agent locations today.
They lost their shape and weren't in position to slide and ended up giving up a layup down low.
So the Swarm trail 2-1 here in the first quarter, and they'll come out on offense on this possession. As both Thompson brothers are out on the floor right now. A shot in the middle from King is off the mark as he gets hit when he was about to shoot, but Georgia picks up the rebound, and then they lose it in the corner, and now it's Lyle Thompson has to go dig it out. And he has to get over to his brother as it's fought for up against the boards.
I like seeing him scrap for loose balls, and that's critical, getting those second, third possessions in your offensive end.
Now, last week in the game against Buffalo, it was a very physical game. You saw a lot of checking, a lot of hard hitting, a lot of penalties, and this one seems to be a little more poised.
Yeah, and we saw 3 quarters, maybe a little more than 3 quarters of Georgia fighting for loose balls, and that's a critical element in this game.
There's Crawford once again with a shot and a save by McDonald. Georgia gets the rebound, and they'll come out on offense. Now, I give some credit to Colorado's defense, but Georgia's typically been very efficient with their offensive possessions throughout the entire season, working around, making things happen. Like you see right there, a shot and a save. Shane Jackson had a great goal look right there.
Yeah, really nice look right there. I think if he got it back, he might put it in a different spot, maybe reach around the far side instead of trying to go 5-hole.
Alex Bouquet rather, in net for the Mammoth. Again, 5-2 on the year, 7 to the NLL in goals against and save percentage. So they've got 2 good goaltenders for Colorado. As Crawford dives right in and puts it right over McDonald's shoulder.
They've got a crease violation now.
No goal. As it does right there, ball in the back of the net, and his foot comes down. That's a goal.
That's going to be a good goal. Yep, absolutely.
And wisely, Pat Coyle checked because play continued. You know,
yes.
He didn't really have a chance to think about it, and then finally threw the challenge flag. But again, he's airborne. You see, it doesn't have to. The ball doesn't have to stop, and then it just has to be over the goal line, which it is. And he's still in the air, hasn't touched down yet, and that ball is clearly in the net. Yep, so you can see the ball right there in the back of the net, and he's completely airborne.
Great work up in the booth, stopping that at the right moment to show us. It's what we call definitive evidence.
I'm not exactly sure what Ian Garrison is. I always wonder what takes these guys so long sometimes when it seems so obvious to us, but they get paid to get it right. We just get paid to talk about it.
I'm not sure if there's anything else he's concerned about in terms of timing or anything else.
You may just want to double check with his overhead angle here to make sure it is passed. Now he's airborne right there. You can see that right foot before it hits the ground. It's not on the ground yet. That ball is in the net. It's hard to tell from that angle if his foot's on the ground. It doesn't look like it is, but
yeah,
because he's planting on that right foot.
It's a great angle to see that shot from, but I think the other one is the one that actually gave us the clear view of the timing between the ball being in the net and his foot coming down.
Yeah, I mean, everything we need is right there, and we'll get the official word from Ian Garrison here.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's a good goal.
There you go, and Colin Crawford gets his first goal of the evening, 27th of the year, and it's a 3-1 lead for the Mammoth.
Now, interestingly, I think.
Now, they may have to go back and figure out the clock situation, right?
And the penalty situation. I think that there was a penalty called during the play,
yes.
And the penalty will stand. So the penalty was committed during the time in between the goal and the time the flag was thrown. The penalty will still stand, so the Swarm does have a power play here.
Now that seems like an odd quirk, and I stand corrected. They do not put the clock back to when the goal is scored.
They do not.
They let that clock run, so it's one of those quirky little rules about indoor lacrosse. So the Swarm start on a power play right now, and Lyle Thompson working right towards the net, and then pulls it back up. Now Lyle Thompson's going to sit there and wait for some help.
Nice tough ground ball there by Miles Thompson with defenders all over him.
Swarm power play, last in the league coming into this weekend. They've only converted on 41% of their power play opportunities. A shot and a save from Bouquet. As we're under 90 seconds left in the man advantage for the Swarm. And there's Lyle Thompson in the corner. To King, over to Palace. As the Swarm work the ball around, now it's Randy Stotts. And the shot and a goal from Palace.
Interesting choice there by the Colorado defense. When we get to the replay here.
Well, they look like they've stayed pretty stagnant in their box formation.
And then right at the last second, one of the defenders stepped up. You see Cupido stepped up and allowed Palace to cut right by him. Palace saw him step up, took advantage of it, cut by, and was wide open on the inside for a pretty goal.
27th goal of the year for Johnny Palace, and it's great to call his name. He's kind of been absent a lot lately, and I don't mean that. We haven't heard him put the ball in the back of the net in a while.
Yeah, and the ball hasn't been in his stick a lot. He's been that involved in the offense overall.
Mammoth turn it over and Swarm come out on offense, trailing by 1 here as we near the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. And they tried to get it right to Randy Stotts in the middle. And then Miles Thompson tried to shovel it up back to the same spot where Stotts was standing, and it's a turnover.
And we're seeing a lot of pressure out of Colorado, which is going to provide opportunities for Georgia to score on the inside. They're going to leave their low defenders pretty solid down on the crease, and those guys are going to need to help if Georgia's able to get the ball to the inside. The key is going to be the speed between the catch and the shot for Georgia.
And the Mammoth missed it. Golden scoring opportunity. Chris Wardle was cutting towards the net, and the pass missed him. And that's what's being fought for in the corner right now, that loose ball. And the officials are going to get a shot clock violation on the Mammoth, and the Swarm will get the ball.
And it's not fun being in there. Every part of your body is getting whacked with a stick, hit, push, shove.
That's all about positioning. You want to be on the outside rather than the inside. So the Georgia Swarm starting to climb back in this thing after a goal from Palace. It's 3-2. We'll be back with more Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast. after close game, Brian, that they've been getting kind of gut punched on.
Yeah, close game after close game. In the fourth quarter, we just haven't been able to hold it together and pick up the wins. Coach Cuomo's has got a young team, and I'm sure he's continually working on that aspect of the game and trying to get them mentally focused so that in the fourth quarter, we get a full 15 minutes out of them.
Second meeting of the year between the Swarm and the Mammoth. First one way back on January 1st on New Year's Day as a shot goes right off the post. And the Swarm will hustle for the long rebound, and it'll be Brody McDonald have to corral it for his teammates. But the Swarm get a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock, and that was a 16-15 game. The Swarm trailed for the entire game till midway through the fourth quarter, took a lead, and then couldn't hang on to it, and losing 16-15.
Yeah, on that previous play, I like that little one-on-one play set for Lyle Thompson to get him free up high, where he then had the option to step around and shoot or go to the cage.
Randy Stott's working towards the middle, over to Jackson, dumps it to Thompson, who scores! Lyle Thompson!
That is Swarm lacrosse at its best. Ball movement leading to, I'm not going to call it an easy shot, but ball movement leading to a very makeable shot, putting a shooter in a position where he can throw a fake, see the goalie, and dump it in the back of the net.
Thompson with his 15th goal of the year. And Thompson doing his best to take part in Native American Heritage Day here at the Hive.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of the Iroquois national team players. And we have a tie ball game at 3 under 4 minutes left, and the Swarm win the faceoff and get an opportunity to take a lead here.
Yeah, as we talked about last week, when we're winning faceoffs, it really feels like the guys have more energy when they're getting those extra possessions after goals. Different people have different approaches to faceoffs. Colorado's a team that doesn't worry so much about winning faceoffs.
Now, see, there is a situation where, to me, it looked like the way the Mammoth rotate guys on and off hurt them, because it was the Swarm tried to just shovel a pass to their own defender, and it was picked up by Jordan Gillis, who is a defender who ran up to the offensive zone and said, I got to stop and wait for everybody else to get here. The fast break opportunity was gone.
Yep.
And now we have Eli McLaughlin working towards the net, dumps it up to Burke, who cuts in, and that is a goal. McDonald stopped it, and then looked like it bounced straight up and down behind him off the back of his leg and rolled in.
Yeah, he got a piece of it. Came out a little too hard on Burke. He saw the defender coming, quick little face dodge, and got himself square in front of the net with a great look here.
Yeah, it was point-blank range. He went down low and bounced it, and McDonald got a piece of it. We'll see here on the overhead.
Yeah, we missed there. Chad Tutton was just a little bit out of control coming out on his stick side. With a quick face dodge, he was able to go by. That's a difficult position as a goalie to make a save.
Yeah, Burke now 15 points on the year. Not one of the bigger scorers for the Mammoth, but they give the lead, or get the lead back on the Burke goal. And the Swarm try to equalize right there. Another shot by Thompson, who was checked, and they're doing a lot of hard hitting right in front of the goal.
Yeah, and that's what Colorado's going to do. It's going to be a hit when you get it to the inside, because they're not as tight on those guys. They're anchoring down low. It provides those opportunities to cut into the middle, but you are going to get hit if you catch the ball in there.
If you want a goal today, you're going to pay the price for it. As Crawford, working around a couple of defenders, sends it across to Wardle. Well, that was Adam Jones, rather, and is saved by McDonald. I mean, you start to see very quickly the offensive philosophy of the Mammoth between Crawford and Jones, where one stays in one spot, the other stays in the other spot, and they kind of just work a little two-man game together.
Right, Crawford wants to be down low on the righty side. Jones sits up high on the lefty side, and what it creates a situation when Crawford goes to the cage, if you collapse down to stop him, Adam Jones is sitting there for a wide open shot on the opposite side.
Here is Jones right now looking, gives it over to Mallory. Mallory cuts around a defender right towards Brody and then gets closed down on good defense by the Swarm there. And then a low shot is wide.
Overall, I think the Swarms look fairly tight on defense. We have a couple of individual shortcomings here and there, providing opportunities, but as a group, they've been pretty well positioned.
You see a man-up matchup right there with Crawford, and then he gets help from Noble. I mean, how often will they go man-up? And a great save by Brody McDonald on a point-blank shot. How often will they go man-up defense on a guy like Crawford?
At times you have to send that second guy, but it's always a risk. What you want to do is send that second guy when he has his back turned, not when he's squared up facing and can see across the floor.
Brody McDonald with another point-blank save on Adam Jones, who was diving through the crease, and Swarm gave the Mammoth a little bit of their own medicine, making Jones pay for it for being that close to the goal. There's under a minute left here in the first quarter. Swarm trailing by 1. A shot is wide from the Swarm, and it bounces against the boards, and it's finally picked up by the Mammoth. Robert Hope brings it into the offensive zone, then dumps it back, and now the Mammoth will do their change to get their offensive players out on the field as Crawford works his way into the corner.
You see Crawford's on the floor every offensive set. Every offensive set he's out there.
NLL leader in assists coming into this weekend as Crawford works right through the defense, and McDonald comes up with a save, and the Swarm get a fast break here. See what they do with it. Chad Tutton working right towards the net, and then dumps it off to Thompson into the corner to McIntosh, who couldn't corral the pass, and the horn sounds, ending the first quarter. And you got a sense that Tutton there was kind of looking at the clock, trying to decide whether he should shoot or pass, and the shot on goal never happened, so we get a 1-goal game at the end of 15 minutes. It's a 4-3 lead for the Mammoth. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
When do you know an age has come? How do you know that an era has arrived?
Noble shooting, scoring! How about that?
Ages are a collection of single events and experiences that are remembered in the heart, not recalled in the mind.
Look at that hit!
In this moment, right here and right now, we know we're coming of age.
Welcome to the NLL!
For tickets, visit ColoradoMammoth.com. When do you know? Not many things can be achieved in no time with minimum effort and no sweat at all.
I know just the gift.
But Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our 4-star app. Go online to westernunion.com or visit one of our over 51,000 agent locations in the U.S. today. This is moving money for better.
The first time anybody watches an NLL game, the pace is something that takes you back.
With a 30-second shot clock, no matter what, there's a change of possession very quick.
It's a high-paced sport, but it's also really family-friendly. I mean, you can expect a lot of action.
Fastest game on 2 feet, like they say.
It was high energy, the music was great, the fans were awesome, and we just had a blast.
This copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League.
Field at Infinite Energy Arena. It's Georgia Swarm Lacrosse. Swarm versus the Mammoth, in Colorado with a 4-3 lead after 1 period. And so far in the game, it's been back and forth. It's been tight on both sides.
It really has. Right now, the difference is the power play goal that Colorado got. I think both sides are playing fairly well on defense, but both sides are also moving the ball and creating some shots for themselves. I think this will be a very interesting game.
Swarm with the shots on goal advantage after 15 minutes. And let's see how the story develops here, Brian, because we've seen for many games, and we heard Coach Como talk about it prior to today's faceoff, that in 6 of the 9 losses they led going into the 4th quarter. They've played great for 45 minutes, haven't really finished out 60.
Yeah, but what we need to do is keep the energy, position ourselves, and then maintain it through the 4th. That's going to be the key.
Here's Jordan McIntosh as the team switch sides, working behind the net, and feeds it back towards the top of the offensive zone. A shot that was deflected, never made its way to Bouquet. And now the Mammoth will come out on the offense. Dan Coates working his way into the zone. He'll dump it off, and then head to the bench.
Yeah, not sure that was the best shot that early in the clock, without much ball movement leading to it.
There's Ilya Gaich. He gets knocked down and has to dump it off. And the pass intended for McLaughlin misses, and McLaughlin has to just swat it towards the goal to avoid a shot clock violation. But a long outlet pass and it's shot in the goal! Shane Jackson!
And those are exactly the transition opportunities we're talking about. When you get those looks, you got to bury it. And that's one where the timing off the bench worked well. We got a clean ground ball. We found the guy open on the floor. And the key, he put it in the back of the net when he had the opportunity.
Yeah, the outlet pass to Tutton. Tutton gives it to Jackson, who's cutting right towards the net. And again, you talk about Pat Coyle's idea of subbing on and off in offense and defense hurt them there. It's nobody was back on defense.
Yeah, really, we won the substitution battle there, right? Our guy got to the bench quicker. In the second quarter, we have our lefties coming off the floor with the advantage, and we use the length of the bench to gain some distance and get out in front of them, wide open goal.
Ties it up at 4 here early in the second quarter. And the Swarm fighting for loose balls now, and they get one picked up here. As we see Jordan McIntosh come right to the offensive zone, he'll slow things down, wait for some teammates as they finally get off the bench. 20 left to shoot for the Swarm. McIntosh waiting, coming towards the top of the offensive zone. And here's Lyle Thompson. Loses the ball, goes up against the boards and picks it back up, cuts right towards the net, feeds it in the middle for a behind-the-head shot from Johnny Powers. That was wide. That was some nifty ball work right there and a great scoring opportunity. But the Swarm get the loose ball back, and here's Thompson again, and he scores!
We talked about loose balls in the offensive end. It's critical to our defensive end as well. Don't give Colorado a second chance. That time, that was 2 loose balls in the offensive end. One led to that little foot pass by Lyle Thompson. The second one led to a goal.
And Miles buries it in the back of the net for his 12th goal of the season. Miles and Lyle both with a goal today on Native American Heritage Day here at the Hive.
Yeah, offensive rebounds and offensive ground balls, loose balls are just like bonus opportunities to score goals. It's great when you can take advantage of them.
Ethan O'Connor taking the faceoff there for the Swarm that they win. Odd that Jordan McIntosh getting a little relief from faceoff duties.
And nice to see an Ethan win one there. That's excellent.
Here come the Swarm on offense again, and Jackson loses the ball. And it's shot out to Matisse near midfield. Here comes Randy Stotts cutting in for a low shot and a save by Bouquet. Stotts gets his own rebound. And then ball's loose on the turf. Now the ball loose in the Swarm zone, and they'll pick it up. It's a 5-4 lead for the Swarm, their first of the game.
And yeah, not to be silly here, but the offense is buzzing a little bit right now.
Ah, I see what you did there. Pun intended, of course, here. It's Georgia Swarm lacrosse buzzing all around. And Matisse with a shot and a save from Bouquet. And this game's starting to shape up. We've talked about the first meeting way back on New Year's Day in that similar back-and-forth fashion that they did back on January 1st.
Yep, and what we need to do is keep getting those stops and keep getting those clean ground balls out the back end.
And the Swarm are going to head to a power play here.
Colorado penalty, 15, 2 minutes, illegal cross-check.
Here you go. So heading to the box, it's Ilya Gaich, the Denver University product, and the Swarm will go on the power play here with a 5-4 lead.
And what we're looking here is for shots off ball movement, where the goalie has to move to try to square up with the shooter before the shooter shoots it.
Swarm already have a power play goal in the game, and you can see that box defense that Colorado is using. Jesse King with a shot and a save from Bouquet. Ball's loose in front of the net. Jackson fights for it. And then it's finally picked up and given back to Jackson. They seem very disciplined in the last power play, and when that discipline broke down as a shot from Stotts is wide.
Those shots, the last 2 shots we took, Colorado's going to concede those. I'd much rather see us move the ball and get the shots Colorado doesn't want us to take, which is off the backside, off ball movement.
Powell's with a low shot that bounces and goes off the backboard. 15 left to shoot as the Swarm try to work the ball in the middle. Thompson finally corrals it. Under 10 left to shoot. And the Swarm Now, and it goes in! Lyle Thompson, I was just about to say that the shot clock was going to expire because they were trying to be too cute, and he just throws it on net and it goes in.
A nice little move by Thompson to get that one off. And again, though, that one's off, 3-4 loose balls they fought for to get the ball back. And then a beautiful little play from Lyle Thompson to get around the defender, who I think was kind of a little bit out of control coming to him. Lyle saw it and said, oh, rather than roll the ball in the corner, let's get to the net and get a shot off.
Thompson with his second goal. Lyle Thompson with his second goal today. His brother Miles also has one. And the Swarm have a 6-4 lead.
And another face-off win, so they're right back on offense.
And I guess persistence on that power play paid off. I almost felt like they were trying to be too fine as Matisse's shot is wide. And the rebound is fought for and picked up by Bouquet. But, they looked like they were trying to be too cute with too many extra passes.
Yeah, the first two they just fired, and then they made a couple tough passes into the inside. They were really tough to handle. But in the end, your star comes out, makes a great play, and scores a goal for you.
And Brody McDonald, it looked like it hit the post, or it looked like it hit off his face mask. But it was a long rebound that came all the way out. Nonetheless, it's still a 6-4 game, under 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. As Jones throws it on net and Brody saves it. Now the Swarm will get a chance to get something shorthanded-wise, and Matisse just missed it.
I like the idea on that finish, though. What Matisse was trying to do there was a really nice idea on how to get a shot off there, reaching around off the jump.
So the Swarm have a 6-4 lead with 9:37 left here in the second quarter. And we're going to get an equipment check here.
Yeah, this is a
standard
routine. They check the goalie's equipment, make sure no one's wearing too much padding.
Again, a 6-4 lead for the Georgia Swarm. We'll take a timeout, come back with more here in the second quarter. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
Came from. They grew up with this game. It's more than a game. It's a huge part of their life, their lifestyle, their heritage, and it's incredibly important to them.
And McDonald comes up big on a shot from Crawford. Another save as it's getting stuck in his pads. You actually saw Crawford show some frustration there that it didn't go in. You just saw him kind of shake his head and throw his arms in frustration.
A frustrated Callum Crawford would be very good for the Georgia
2 minutes, illegal body contact.
And in the meantime, Chad Tutton, who's got a goal in the evening so far, will head to the penalty box, and the Swarm will head to the penalty kill.
So they're in their box as usual. The key for us here is making sure we get that slide across the backside to the shooter. Don't let them get the easy crease goals.
And Crawford working towards the net, and then dumps it off, and now it's Mallory at the top of the offensive zone. And the ball's knocked loose and picked up by Adam Jones, and then knocked loose again. Now the Swarm comes sprinting out. on a shorthanded opportunity. And Jordan McIntosh will wait in the corner now, and the Swarm will get a chance to kill, hopefully close to 30 seconds of this penalty.
Captain made a good decision there. I'm sure he thought for a moment about going to the net, but decided that killing 30 seconds of shorthanded time is much more valuable.
Well, you want to score a shorthanded goal. The Mammoth is not the team to do it against. They've only given up 4 shorthanded goals all season long. The fewest in the NLL is Randy Stotts with a shot that Bouquet has to save. And it's one of those quirky stats. I don't know really you can derive much from the fact they've only given up 4 shorthanded goals, but that may speak more to their offense as much as it does to their defense.
And also to their speed, their ability of their guys to get back and make sure they're not giving anything up. And because of their speed, their ability to play one-on-one and maintain a backer when they're playing essentially with an extra guy on defense.
40 seconds left in the power play. A shot from McLaughlin is wide. And there's still 3 left to shoot, and another shot right there from Wardle, and the save from McDonald gives the Mammoth a fresh 30, but the ball's loose on the turf and picked up by the Swarm. And they might have gotten too aggressive there and trying to get out.
Yeah, a little careless. That's exactly what we talked about in the last one. The captain made the good choice and pulled it out and killed the time. That time we tried to get a bit aggressive and gave the ball right back to Colorado.
And some of that's knowing how much time is left, because they would have killed the penalty off had they just held on to the ball. Now you're giving the Mammoth an extra opportunity to shoot with a man advantage as that shot goes wide, but it's quickly rebounded by the Mammoth, and then Brody McDonald comes up with a huge save.
That's a big save. That's a huge save right there.
Eli McLaughlin lurking behind the net, and Brody came up huge to hold on to the 6-4 lead and kill off that penalty.
And that's the one where I think those long arms are an advantage. They're able to reach back to that back pipe with the arm and shoulder and shut it down.
There comes McIntosh diving deep into the offensive zone. Again, teams are at 6-a-side as the ball gets knocked out of McIntosh's stick and he loses it. Now the Mammoth will come out on offense.
Both teams being a little bit careless with the ball over the last few minutes.
And now the Mammoth set things up offensively. There is Chris Wardle at the top of the offensive zone. Down to Crawford in the corner. Tries to come around the screen for a low shot and a save from McDonald. He got down low to stop that one.
And a nice defensive set there, I think, for the Swarm. Good job picking up guys on switches, including that cutter that slipped to the inside.
And here comes Lyle Thompson, tried to feed it in the middle, and Matisse was cutting right towards the net. Couldn't connect on the pass. And it was picked up by Gaich, who's going to run right into the offensive zone. Gaich will pull up, and he tried to shoot there, and it was deflected. And he ended up getting his own rebound. Gaich kind of just working alone, not being deterred by the fact that he's not getting much help from his teammates.
2 dodges in a row. That's going to be a hold call.
Now we are going to get a penalty. And we'll see Ian Garrison give us the call. And it looks like the Mammoth will head back to the power play. And there is
Georgia, number 27, 2 minutes holding.
Reed Acton heading to the box. And Reed has seen more playing time as of late, seldom used early on in the year. But the Loyola product, who was part of the 2012 National Championship team.
Reed was in a bit of a tough spot there. I think the offensive player was really kind of holding him off with his free hand, which kind of left Reed with the only option but to hold back to prevent him from getting the ball really close to the cage.
Well, the Swarm just killed off one penalty. They'll have to do it again here to hold on to this 6-4 lead. There's the Mammoth setup. Here's Adam Jones for a shot that was deflected, never made it to McDonald. And then a behind the back shot from Jones is wide off the boards, and the Swarm pick it up. And you can see Jordan McIntosh now just slowing down, and they're not going to try to get too aggressive, it doesn't look like, unless something really manifests itself, Brian.
No, they want to kill the time here, maybe take a shot late if they have an opportunity late in the shot clock to go to the cage.
McIntosh having to do a lot of work against Dan Coates.
They just called him for warding off with his free hand there.
And here we get Creighton Reed. And he'll head to the bench now. The Mammoth will set up their offense with 20 left to shoot. There's Adam Jones. Mike Burke now over to Crawford. That shot was deflected and picked up by the Swarm.
Yeah, Colorado setting double picks there on the ball side to try to free the shooter, and the shooter made a beautiful pass to the backside, but
that
Swarm
was terrible.
To the task.
Because I mean, you have a chance to kill the penalty, and the pass attempt went right into the stands.
Yeah, it's twice now we've turned the ball over in really situations where all we really need to do was clear it across the midfield line and kill time.
And so now the Mammoth will get the ball back after we come back from a quick timeout. The Swarm still have to kill off a penalty, leading by 2, 6-4. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
My little brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our app, go online to westernunion.com, or visit one of over 51,000 agent locations today.
That was easy.
This is moving money for better.
The first time anybody watches an NLL game, the pace is something that takes you back.
With the 30-second shot clock, no matter what, there's a change of possession very quick.
It's a high-paced sport, but it's also really family-friendly. You can expect a lot of action.
Fastest game on 2 feet, like they say.
It was high energy, the music was great, the fans were awesome, and we just had a blast.
Colorado will start with the ball after this timeout with 44 seconds left on their power play, as Reed Acton sits in the box for holding. And let's just hope the Swarm's kind of mental errors on the penalty kill here, which we've seen again prior to the timeout. They had possession of the ball, and then just a bad pass that went to the stands gave it right back to Colorado. We'll see if they can kill off the rest of his power play with 15 left to shoot. Crawford at the top of the offensive zone, a shot and a save from McDonald.
Yeah, so far those turnovers haven't hurt them, but those are things you do not want to continue to play with. You turn the ball over to a team when you're shorthanded, eventually they're going to score on you.
Adam Jones' shot saved by McDonald, deflected into the stands. They'll retain the possession with 16 seconds left on the power play. So it'll be one last opportunity for the Mammoth with the man advantage. And they'll pull up.
And they've definitely gotten more organized since that first. Now you can see that double pick again. Aggressive double picks from Colorado to try to free up Crawford.
And there it is. They time it out perfectly to wait for Reed Acton to come running out of the box. And they beat McDonald on the short side. And that was a nifty pass right there, and Eli McLaughlin was the beneficiary of it.
Yeah, and while technically that's not a power play goal, that's still
right.
that was their power play play. We've seen it a few times. They get the 2 picks, and then obviously Caleb could score on his own, but he also can quickly get that ball to the backside. It's a difficult play to guard, and they've used it almost every power play thus far.
Crawford with his 3rd assist of the game so far, keeping in touch with his league lead. And it closes the gap to 1, 6-5.
We're lucky not to pick up a penalty there for boarding.
I mean, first time letting him play. I mean, it hasn't been as physical as it was last week for the Swarm, but there's certainly a lot of, balls being knocked loose and guys pushing, and
kind of a different kind of physical than that Buffalo game.
Mammoth back on offense, 7 left to shoot as the ball is loose in the corner. And it's Jason Noble fighting for it, as is Drew Petkoff, who picks it up right as the shot clock expires. And now the Swarm come out on offensively. Jordan McIntosh. And you'll see Kyle Matisse along with Stotts, Powless, and Thompson. Miles Thompson, that is.
See Colorado, they pressure a lot up top, but when the ball gets down low, they kind of sit on those corners and let the guy handle down low. Up top, though, we're getting a lot of pressure from Colorado.
And as the shot clock expires, the Swarm just try to chuck it on net, and they'll turn it over. And then Ilya Gaich now standing near midfield. And here comes McLaughlin, who scored the last Mammoth goal. There's Adam Jones. There's Crawford in the corner. Trying to come around the screen, has to pull back. And the pass is intercepted by the Swarm, and they'll come out in a rush on offense. And here comes Joel White, shot save. And a rebound, and the net was off the moorings. The net was off the moorings, the Swarm want a goal, and they're gonna count
Absolutely.
it. It looked like a Colorado player knocked the net off the moorings almost on purpose.
And if the net isn't there, you are allowed to score on the space where the net should be, essentially. So because they knocked the ball off the net, the officials ruling that ball was shot where the net would have been, and it should be a goal. Right there.
Yep, Adam Jones purposely knocked it off. Ethan O'Connor picked up the rebound off the Joel White miss, or the Joel White save.
And can we just reel back a second to Joel White's speed?
Oh, unreal. Unreal.
Wow.
Now, Pat Core's going to, the coach of the Colorado Mountains, is going to go review this. Now, this has got to be one of the tougher calls for an official in lacrosse to make, because as you said, he's got to figure out where the net would have been.
I don't think there's any way they can overrule. I mean, I guess there is a way, obviously, they can overrule this, but it'd be very difficult to. On first look, that looked very much like it should have been a goal if the net was there. And wow, Joel White just blowing by people in the middle of the field.
He intercepted that ball right in front of his own goal and just took off.
Yeah.
And that was a flat-out foot race that he won. But wisely, he had his teammates trailing, knowing that he didn't have to have a great shot. It was that second shot, that rebound, that really was going to help them out.
Yep, absolutely.
And here you see White ahead of the defender by a considerable margin, winds up and just throws it right off the shoulder.
Oh, he could be, and White's back out of the crease, so we're good there.
And Ethan O'Connor, I mean, Adam Jones deliberately pushed the net off the moorings.
Yeah, which should be, I didn't see a penalty call, but that should be a penalty.
Here's White's initial shot.
And it would be an issue if Joel White was still in the crease, it'd be an issue, but Joel White goes through the crease, has nothing to do with the play. He's not allowed in the crease, but he in no way affects the play, so that's not going to be a crease call. He's back out before the shot's taken, so we're good there.
And here's Adam Jones, number 16 of Colorado.
And Adam Jones, clearly, you can see he's looking at his goal. You see his goalie down on the goal.
Out of position.
And he deliberately pushes the goal off the moorings, which should be a penalty, but then we're able to score.
I mean, the goal would have been there. And alertly, Ethan O'Connor does not stop playing.
Right,
he knows and is aware that, hey, that's still a goal for us.
Absolutely. Very smart play by Ethan O'Connor. And you see him use the twister, even though the goal isn't there. He uses that twister motion to reach around the pipe so he can get to the front side with his stick, even though his body's low.
I mean, it's just level. Jones makes no attempt to avoid the net when clearly he can.
And O'Connor's close to the crease as well, but he is not in the crease. That's a great view right there.
That's a great view.
That's a beautiful view.
Here's the question, because if you see the view again, if we
have
look
the
at
actual
that,
dots,
the ball goes behind the dot, and that may be the clincher for it to be not a goal, because that would have hit the backside of the net. I don't know about this one, Brian.
You can see the dot there. But if it's not a goal, it should be a penalty. If it's not a goal, we should be on the power play.
I mean, the referee took a second, then finally raised his hands, but this is an excellent camera angle by our people here at Fox Sports.
The interesting thing will be on the penalty. Did any of the officials rule in real time that Jones intentionally pushed the goal off the moorings, which would thus be a penalty, or are they only seeing that in the replay and they can't make that call on the replay? If they saw it and were going to call it initially but didn't because of the goal, they can call it now. If they only saw it for the first time in the replay, they can't make that call, despite the fact that it's abundantly obvious that Jones pushes the goal intentionally.
You can see right here the official's not looking at Adam Jones. He's looking where Ethan O'Connor is standing.
That official's not, but there are two other officials on the floor that may have seen it.
There you can see the referee signaling a fresh 30 as the. Oh, that's great camera work by our guys. You can't really tell from that angle. That overhead angle tells you that.
Yep, here we go.
We don't know what the final decision is going to be, but Ian Garrison is going to give it to us here in just a moment, whether this goal is going to stand or not. Garrison continue to have a couple of final words with Ryan Fowler.
See, my guess is he's asking him right now is, did you see Adam Jones push the goal off the Marlins?
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned, no goal. As a result of intentional displacement of the goal, penalty shot, Georgia.
Wow, they are going to award a penalty shot because Adam Jones intentionally displaced the net.
Intentionally pushes off the Mornings. You know, he's doing that to avoid them the opportunity to score, which leads directly to a penalty shot. I'm glad that they made that call. My fear was that they didn't see that initially, and they wouldn't be able to make it.
All right, Brian, now break down the penalty shot. Any of the 5 players on the floor can take it.
You ask me who I think I'd give it to? I'm not sure who they're going to choose. I would think Shane Jackson, maybe?
They're going to give it to Johnny Powers, who's standing.
Johnny Powers.
And the rules are the same as it would be within the game. As long as you're not in the crease, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, and he has to keep moving. He can't stop in front of the goaltender. Similar to hockey, he has to continue his motion towards the goal before he shoots. He can't stop his feet in front.
So this is a chance for the Swarm here. Not often called, just like in hockey. You don't see many penalty shots.
No, you do not get to see this. It's really only 2 real situations where it can occur most commonly is that one, or if you intentionally drag down a player who has an open shot at the net.
And here comes Johnny Powers on a free breakaway on a penalty shot. Powers moving in, shot, score!
Well done. As I said, you're not allowed to stop. So what does Johnny Powers do? Moves about as slowly as you can. He was in no rush to get there. He's moving nice and slowly, complete control of his body, and a pretty finish.
So after all it shakes out, Powers on the penalty shot gives the Swarm back a 2-goal lead. You can see him moving to his right here slowly.
Yeah, you see the approach. They come across the cage that way, so you make the goalie have to move a little bit pipe to pipe.
Powers with his 2nd goal of the game as we have 2 minutes left, makes it a 7-5 lead for the Swarm. We'll immediately win the faceoff, another scoring opportunity. And here comes Colorado on offense. That shot hit the post. Creighton Reed hit the post, and a long rebound comes out to the Swarm. And again, you're getting, for our first-time viewers watching indoor lacrosse, you're getting a great view of how action-packed this game is and how quick it moves.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything already. Some good offense, some good defense, some nice physical play, a breakout goal, and we even got a penalty shot.
Long outlet pass to William Geitch, cuts right towards the net. And Geitch gets hit from behind. That was great defense right there.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, Geitch isn't a pure offensive guy, but he can definitely go to the net. We did a good job with a lot of space of stopping him.
Alex Krepensek dumps it off and then hits to the bench. Here's Randy Stotts. Stotts cutting around a defender towards the net, dumps it back to, that was Miles Thompson. We're gonna get a penalty here as he got checked in the head. So we have a delayed penalty call.
And oddly, they're not
pulling the goal. Yeah, I was just looking at that myself.
I think he made the decision there wasn't enough time left on the shot clock for him to get to the bench, so why run 30 yards?
Right, sure.
If it's not going to lead to anything.
Brody's sprint
Colorado
is not
penalty number 82, 2 minutes slashing.
There you go. So heading to the box, it'll be Joey Cupido. But as you said, big 6'7" Brody McDonald had a long way to run to get off.
With 10 seconds on the shot clock, nothing was going to happen anyway.
All right, so the last 50 seconds of the second quarter will be a man advantage for the Swarm. Already have 1 power play goal in the game so far. And a shot from the top from Jesse King is deflected just wide.
You see him using the space behind the net, something you don't see as much in box as you do in field. It can be a very effective thing on the power play, largely because teams don't see it very often. It can cause some confusion.
Stotts back to Paulus. Now there's 5 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock, ending the first half. A shot and a save by Bouquet, who knocks the net off, and you see the ref take an extra long look at where that ball was.
Yep, wanted to make sure.
And under 10 seconds left. Here comes Cameron Holding, who gets checked to the ground. That ball's loose, and the horn's going to sound it. Thankfully, there wasn't a late goal given up here, especially a shorthanded version, as the first half ends with the Swarm having a 7-5 lead. We'll take a timeout, come back with our halftime stats and recap after this. You're watching Georgia Storm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
Welcome to a special edition of NLL Halftime. I'm your host, Dave Walls. Before the highlights, here's a look at the players making waves in 2016. Buffalo's Dane Smith is knocking on the door of greatness this season. 1 year after Sean Evans raised the bar by scoring 130 points in a single season, the Great Dane is threatening to obliterate it. Smith sits at 111 points entering Week 15, just 19 back of the record with 5 games to play. Inside the faceoff circle, the battle to be king of the hill is extremely tight. Buffalo's Jay Thornbear and Saskatchewan's Jeremy Thompson have been neck and neck for nearly the entire 2016 campaign. The Bandits' Thornbear has 208 faceoff wins compared to the 206 for the Rush's Thompson, with both winning 57% of their draws. This year, the title is completely up for grabs. 5 games on the Week 15 schedule. The Rush and Black Wolves play on Friday night. Then the Wolves head north to face the Toronto Rock on Saturday. Also on Saturday, the Nighthawks hit the Thruway to face the Bandits, Vancouver at Calgary, and the Mammoth and Swarm play on a Sunday special. Check the broadcast schedule at NLL.com for the games available in your area. That'll do it for NLL Halftime. Thanks for watching, but don't go anywhere. Now stay tuned for a recap of last weekend's highlights from 120 Sports.
Time to recap the weekend's action in the National Lacrosse League. The Colorado Mammoth had already clinched a playoff spot, but a win over the New England Black Wolves would also assure them of a home playoff game. It was a back-and-forth affair, but in the end, the Mammoth prevailed by a score of 12-10. Callum Crawford tied a career high with 5 goals. The Mammoth improved their record to 10-3, while New England falls to 7-5. The Buffalo Bandits were able to add a game to their East Division lead as they defeated the Georgia Swarm 18-14. Dane Smith scored 5 goals to bring his league-leading total to 53 on the season. The Swarm fell to 4-9 and are now 2 games behind Rochester for the final playoff spot in the East. In Saskatchewan, a sold-out crowd of 14,941 fans packed the SaskTel Center as the Saskatchewan Rush defeated the Calgary Roughnecks 11-9. With the win, the Rush also assured themselves of a home playoff game. Roughnecks forward Curtis Dixon scored 3 goals to give him 51 on the year, setting a new Roughnecks franchise record for goals scored in a single season. Despite the loss, the Roughnecks stayed 2 games ahead of the Vancouver Stealth for the last playoff spot in the West, as the Stealth lost to the Toronto Rock 13-11 on Saturday night. Tied at 11 in the 4th quarter, Josh Sanderson and Stephen LeBlanc scored back-to-back goals to secure an important win for the Rock. They improved to 4-9, 2 games behind the final playoff spot in the East Division. And that's the weekend that was in the National Lacrosse League.
My little brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy.
My little brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our 4-star app. Go online to westernunion.com or visit one of our over 51,000 agent locations in the U.S. today. This is moving money for better.
Can help you
Swarm leads 7-5 over the Colorado Mammoth, the best team in the NFL record-wise. Colorado, how do the Swarm hang on to a win?
Well, we effectively defend both Crawford and Jones. What I mean by that is Crawford is going to require a double teams at times. He's a great player, but he's also an excellent feeder. So when we double down to him, we got to be able to defend the lefties on the backside, particularly Jones. The second one, Brody McDonald in the cage has been consistent. He's been outstanding at times. That needs to carry through the next 2 quarters for us to get a win.
Brody stopped 12 of 17 shots, or 17 rather of 22 shots, excuse me, on goal in the first half, and he will be a key part of the Swarm as they look to get win number 5 and get their first win on this homestand that they have been on a 5-game homestand. So they'll have to do it against one of the best in the league in the Colorado Mammoth, come into this game 10-3 on the year. And these two teams again matched up all the way back on New Year's Day for the first game of the year for the Swarm. A 16-15 victory for the Mammoth in a back-and-forth game. And the Swarm hope to kind of have things go their way in this rematch.
Yeah, and the key for us is the fourth, right? We want to avoid the back and forth. We want to just go in one direction, and what's going to make that happen is stops on the defensive end.
So Ed Como has seen this script before. Let's hope it has a different ending today as the initial faceoff started in the third quarter is picked up and won by the Swarm. And they'll start things out offensively. Again, team switch side, so see how the Swarm do on their first offensive possession.
Remember, power play to start here.
That's right, finishing off the power play from the end of the first half. So there's 45 seconds left in the man advantage, and a shot from Paulus is saved.
And that went off the goal, so that's not an over in the back.
Right, so we will get a fresh 30, and Randy Stotts will start to set things up for the Swarm.
I like the variety of things the Swarm are doing on the power play as well. Different movements, different motion, cutting guys through, carrying the ball behind the cage.
And right there, a goal. Lyle Thompson with a hat trick.
And that one very similar to a problem that Georgia's had at times, where you have a little bit too much faith in your goaltender. You see the ball gets down low here on the right-handed side. No defender coming across. Well, you're not going to come across. I'm going to throw it in the back of the net.
That's exactly what Lyle did. Third goal of the game, 17th on the season. And it is a 3-goal lead, largest lead for the Swarm on the evening. And after that face-off, Ethan O'Connor limping off the field as the pass for the Mammoth player missed its mark, bounced off the corner, and you ever see Joel White.
Joel White just looks athletic every time the ball's in his stick.
Well, you can credit Joel White with the penalty shot that ended up being a goal for his breakout in the second quarter. The goal was disallowed, but the net knocked off the moorings and led to a penalty shot for Johnny Paulus. And 5 left to shoot for the Swarm here. And they're going to get a shot clock violation as they try to chuck it on net. It doesn't happen.
And I'm sure there was a lot said in the locker room at halftime. We can't let Georgia come out and score on this power play to start the half and go down 3. And on the Georgia side, it was let's get a goal on this power play and get up 3 to start the half.
And here is Crawford, 4 points on the game so far, 1 goal, 3 assists. Crawford looking for a way in, throws it behind the net, and it was Eli McLaughlin tried to shove it in.
Interesting change there of Crawford handling the ball up top, right? We've seen him have the ball down low almost every time on offense. They flipped it around there and played him up high.
The scrum in the corner between Mallory and Petkoff is won by Mallory, so the Mammoth rather will get a fresh 30 in the ball back.
Illegal screen.
Yep, and now the Swarm will get the ball back. Lyle Thompson, his 3 goals on the game. Now, Kyle Matisse back out on this offensive set. He's been out a lot less on offensive sets tonight than we've seen all season long.
Yeah, we even saw him at defensive end a couple times tonight early on.
And those are some of the adjustments maybe Ed Como was talking about pregame to try to shake things up a little bit, which is what they've had to do over the past couple of games.
Yeah, but I wonder if he sent him out on defense a few times looking for some transition, to get Kyle involved, get him engaged more, running him in transition.
Kyle's a great all-around player.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's perfectly capable of playing out the back door and playing some defense.
And right there, the pass attempted for Mike Burke goes into the Swarm bench, and The Swarm will get the ball. So no team really with a golden scoring opportunity other than the one goal scored by the Swarm on the power play. Every offensive set since then has kind of been more missed than hit.
You see, when we handle the ball, when we get it up top, they're going to come out and play us. When you get it down low, they tend to give our guys a little space down low. And they're always looking to double.
There's Chad Tutton working his way in, dumps it on net. And it is saved by Bouquet. And then checked into the boards right there. We're going to get a penalty,
yeah,
right?
Check from behind into the boards there.
I didn't see who got knocked down, but that was a hard check.
And and it's a dangerous play. That's a very dangerous play.
Randy Stotts who got hit into the boards. And that is Joey Cupido.
And you saw Cupido tried to his credit, he tried to slow down, but his momentum was just too much.
Georgia penalty, number 82, 2 minutes, boarding.
He said Georgia Ian Garrison, but he meant Colorado. And it is Joey Cupido sitting in the box right now, so the Swarm back on the power play.
Another great opportunity for Georgia to extend this lead.
And offensively, now again, this is a situation where typically Kyle Matisse would be out there, not in this rotation right now, as Stotts dives towards the net and the shot looked like it might have hit the post. And they're giving it back to Georgia. Yeah, it clearly hit the net or the post, and they get a fresh 30 in the ball back after it goes into the stands. And Stotts again flips it behind his head to Thompson. King in the corner, now back to Stotts. 19 left to shoot. And Stotts with a shot and a save from Bouquet, and the rebound being fought for by Thompson. As he gets double team, ball still loose. And you can see Bouquet try to throw his stick on it and does.
Yeah, Bouquet was in great position on that shot. I think it's called a crease violation there to give him back possession.
It's another Mammoth will have a chance to kill some of the penalties. Jesse King with a nice clean hit, jarring the ball loose. As he sent Jordan Gillis right on his backside. That's the kind of physical play that creates turnovers for you.
It's a violent game. And you got to come prepared every time. Expect to get hit hard.
Same offensive crew out there as a moment ago. And there's Thompson with a shot that is...
Yeah, we've settled for that shot 3 times now. I think a little more movement.
Shane Jackson sneaks one by Bouquet. The initial shot, Brian, did not hit anything, and there was 3 seconds left when he just threw it on net.
It just trickled through. I mean, in some ways similar to Lyle's one earlier, but that one was saved and somehow trickled through the feet late.
I mean, Jackson just threw a low, hard shot. Bouquet stopped it, trickled right through 5-hole, and rolled itself in.
If the shot clock wasn't expiring, I don't think he takes that shot.
And the Swarm now with a 4-goal lead. As we approach 10 minutes left in the third quarter. And sprinting towards the net and a save from McDonald after a hard check to Mike Woods. Woods slow to get up, but McDonald made the save. That was the most important part of that whole tournament.
And Georgia keeping the pressure on him. Georgia's getting much more possession time here than Colorado.
And diving towards the net to goal! Kyle Matisse mentioned he hasn't been out there for a lot of offensive sets. Gets the job done there.
And I'm looking to see if there's a flag thrown. Nope. And here we go. That's a good goal. That's a good goal. Inches from the crease, but he definitely took off before he stepped in.
Matisse with his 8th goal of the season. More of an assist man, but talk about a complete all-around player. He's so big.
He's so big, and when he gets that close to the, he can reach anywhere on the net. There he uses the jump, reaches to the far side, and dumps it in.
So Matisse makes it a 5-goal lead for the Swarm, 10-5. 9:37 left. Face-off won by the Mammoth. I mean, it's been very fast-paced here in the third quarter so far. Not a lot of play stoppages, not a lot of whistles.
And Colorado again sloppy with the ball. Sloppy with the ball there. Is just continuing to give Georgia opportunities.
Looks like we're going to get delay a game call here. Nope. We will sort it out when we come back. Looks like the Swarm headed to the power play. It's Georgia Swarm Lacrosse, Fox Sports Southeast.
When do you know an age has come? How do you know that an era has arrived?
Noble shooting, scoring! How about that?
Ages are a collection of single events and experiences that are remembered in the heart, not recalled in the mind. In this moment, right here and right now, we know we're coming of age.
Welcome to the NLL.
For tickets, visit ColoradoMammoth.com.
My little brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our app, go online to westernunion.com, or visit one of over 51,000 agent locations today.
That was easy.
This is moving money for better.
You.
Welcome back to the Infinite Energy Arena, Harris Cherokee Casino Field. Swarm lead the Mammoth 10-5, but they'll start this next 2 minutes here in the penalty box. A delay of game, illegal substitution puts Mammoth, the in-home player, in the box for the Swarm. And we'll see if the Mammoth can get a goal, and they do right there. Adam Jones.
And that's the exact same play on the other side. They've been running it on this side for the righties with the double screen. That time they ran it on the left-handed side, the double screen. And that time, instead of feeding to the backside, they chose to shoot it.
18 quick seconds into the penalty, Adam Jones just slides away past a couple of defenders, and McDonough gets beat, looked like right over his right shoulder.
It's interesting, when they run that for Crawford, he's generally looking to feed. When they run it for Jones, I think he's generally looking to shoot.
So Adam Jones with his second goal of the game. By the way, Adam Jones had a very Joe DiMaggio-like streak. He had a goal in 56 consecutive games that was snapped earlier this year.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Now, and think about it. In baseball, obviously, play 162 games. You play 18 games here in the
I think I once went 56 consecutive games without scoring a goal.
So, I mean, that's spanning multiple seasons of scoring a goal in every single game. And the streak was snapped earlier this year against Calgary, so just a heck of a kind of feather in the cap of the career of a guy who's still got a lot of lacrosse left to play.
Yeah, Jones could just shoot the lacrosse ball. There's no question about it. He can shoot. He's not that big, but he can shoot the lacrosse ball.
Not a very good offensive possession there for the Swarm. They end up with a shot clock violation. And now the Mammoth come back on offense. Double check right there from Tutton and Noble. Jars the ball loose, but Colorado gets it back as they have 15 left to shoot. And here comes Wardle. He dumps it back to Burke, who couldn't connect on the pass, has to regroup, and he gets checked by Tutton.
I'd love to see Georgia getting their sticks on some of those feeds going through the middle. It's we've picked off a couple, got a stick on that one and deflected it. That's a key part of playing defense, is don't let a team feed the ball through the middle of your defense.
Georgia forces the shot clock violation, and now they get it back. Shane Jackson couldn't corral that pass in the middle. And here comes Josh Sullivan, rather. He dumps it back to Downing. And a goal from Jones right there again. Jones now with the hat trick, his third of the game.
Yeah, that's a transition goal. They're able to get Adam Jones on, but that was, other than that, that was defenders doing a good job of holding onto the ball long enough to finally get it to Jones on the backside.
Well, also, it didn't seem like Colorado did their normal, hey, we're going to rush everybody off. Sullivan a defender, Downing a defender,
and they got the one offensive player on. They let the defenders run a little bit and got Jones on, the one offensive player, who's the one that ends up finishing in the end.
Coates and McIntosh taking the face off the 10-7 game. So now Colorado scored back-to-back goals, back to a 3-goal game.
Yeah, what we've seen in the past is that's one of the things that gets Georgia out of sorts. when they give up consecutive goals in the second half, they start changing the way they play. Hopefully they'll stick to the game plan, get back on track here. It's always a game of streaks. 2-3 goals in a row happens in lacrosse all the time. You got to stick with your plan and be consistent.
Alex Krepin's like having to do some dirty work to get over midfield, and then dumps it over to King. 13 seconds left to shoot for the Swarm as they get their full complement of offensive players out on the turf. There is Randy Stotts with a shot that is deflected, never makes its way to Bouquet. The ball's still loose on the turf. 2 seconds left to shoot, and they just throw it on net, and they're going to call a shot clock violation. So that's 2 or 3 kind of offensive possessions for the Swarm that haven't gone as efficiently as previous ones where they obviously put goals in the net.
Yeah, I do like that they took the time to get set up there. What didn't lead to an effective possession, but they did take the time to get set up. Whereas in the past, we've seen them, give up a few goals and then rush on offense.
Colorado turns it over on using the non-stick hand to ward off a player. Crawford gets called for it, and the Swarm come out on offense. 15 seconds left to shoot. And moving in, dumping it back to Kyle Matisse. He cuts past the defender, flips it over to Stotts, looking for a shot, gets double teamed, hit hard, still hanging on to the ball. Great play by Stotts, and a bounce pass, or a bounce shot rather, just to kind of, well, they called a shot clock violation, but it was a save with 1 second left. Regardless, it's a Colorado possession. And Stotts took a beating.
Yes, he did. Well, what happened is at the end, the other offensive player on the right-hand side actually went to the bench to make sure they had someone back on defense, which led kind of a free-for-all to double team on Stotts.
And Swarm get the ball there. And actually, we're going to get a penalty call here.
Number 8, 2 minutes delay of game.
Yeah, Garrett Downing, or Greg Downing rather, gets called for the delay of game.
And that's something that they really became much more strict about in the last few years. They want the guys to play. Anything that delays the game at all, not putting the ball down quickly, rolling it away, anything, they'll call it immediately, without exception.
Talk about it being kind of a game of runs and streaks. The Swarm get a chance to kind of stop that Colorado streak. We get a big goal here on this power play as Jesse King cuts through and score! Jesse King doing that one all by himself, Brian.
Yeah, and we've said the power play has been struggling, and we said it at halftime. If we can score power play goals, it's a huge asset in winning games. When we get another one here off of a beautiful shot from Jesse King, and really the Colorado defense being a little bit soft there and kind of allowing him to roam freely through the middle of the floor. Jesse King's a smart player. You give him that space, he's going to run right through there and put it in the net.
King, who leads the Swarm in assists, gets his 15th goal of the year. 52 points on the season. Sorry, make that 53. He already has an assist this evening. But nonetheless, it's a 4-goal lead for the Swarm.
And that's a big goal. Colorado was getting a little bit of a roll going to come back with the power play and get one.
And here's Crawford moving in. He gets double teamed and tries to throw one on net, and it's saved by McDonald. It's weird how that 4-goal lead is kind of like the 3-goal lead is kind of like the line of demarcation. Because if they score one, they're within 2, and it's like, oh, it's so close.
Absolutely.
You're going the other way. 4 seems a lot more insurmountable than 3 does.
Absolutely. And on that last set, you really saw us having the ability.
And a goal right there by Paulus. Oh, that's Stotts.
Stotts just kind of going, I'm not going to say unchecked, but not aggressively checked at all, as he was dead in front of the net and is able to get the ball and a little bit of a quick stick, flick it into the top right corner.
Well, you talked about how well the defense worked, transition right to the offense, and Stotts cut through 2 defenders.
Yeah, he's just behind the defense there. As I was talking earlier on that defensive set, we were able to double Crawford, and the defense did a great job of cutting off the lanes. And Crawford's only opportunity was to try to go through the double and score, because Jones was cut off by guys having their sticks in the lanes on the backside.
And just like that, back to a 5-goal lead for the Swarm. They win the faceoff with an opportunity for more, as we're under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And a low shot from Thompson, saved from Bouquet. Rebound goes out to Stotts, and he gives it back to Kyle Matisse.
Colorado is they're not a physical defense. They're a speed, run around, pressure you defense.
Golden scoring opportunity right there by two different Swarm players.
These last couple goals have happened with opportunities where we've gotten in the middle of the floor and guys have scored without ever being hit before or after scoring the goal.
First it was Thompson, then I think it was Tutton, who both had Golden scoring opportunities. Bouquet came in big on both of them. And Matisse gets a rebound after a deflection from Bouquet and a fresh 30. But after stalling on a couple of offensive possessions, they have been highly effective.
Yeah, and
in
even
the last
that,
2 or 3.
We didn't score there, but again, a great look, and again, coming off of rebounds and second opportunities in the offensive end.
And ball is loose.
Nice job getting back in transition there by the Swarm as Colorado tried to run a bit.
And here comes McIntosh running behind the net. He gets checked up in the corner, ball is loose and is picked up by Lyle Thompson. He goes right in towards the net and then pulls back. 12 left to shoot for the Swarm. Dumps it across. And here's Johnny Paulus and Mammoth player on the turf, and we get a whistle. So it has been an action-packed third quarter, and the Swarm get back that 5-goal lead. They lead 12-7 against the best team in the NLL, the Colorado Mammoth. Take a time out, come back with more here on Fox Sports Southeast. To 7, just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Alongside Brian Silcott, I'm Mark Zinno, and they have been just on fire here in this third quarter. The Swarm have both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and mentally. You know, we saw them give up a few goals, maintain their composure, come right back and score a couple of their own to get back to that 5-goal lead.
Here's Mike Mallory. And the pass attempt from McLaughlin is wide and picked up by the Swarm.
And Colorado's been a bit sloppy. That's probably the 4th or 5th turnover in this half.
Matisse now over to Randy Stotts. Flips it back to Lyle Thompson. Shane Jackson dumps it back in the middle of Thompson. Pass could not connect, but Stotts picks it up. And a violation.
Crease violation, I believe.
Yeah, we'll give the Mammoth the ball back.
I think Stotts must have stepped on in the crease on the way to get that ball.
And there's Mike Burke and a save from McDonald. Brody's been really big in this third quarter.
I was just going to say, we haven't mentioned him a lot, but he's continued to be solid. And it's not about the spectacular one all the time. It's about making all the ones you're supposed to.
Here's Chad Tutton across the field to Matisse. Around to McIntosh, now back to Matisse. 7 left to shoot. And Tutton scores! That was some great ball movement,
yes,
Brian.
you want it's great ball movement, and then off of the ball movement, they go straight into pick and roll. If you want a clip to show the kids how pick and roll operates, this is it right here. He set the pick, he slips out the backside, and I love the I don't want to say casual finish, but the way he drops his sticks in a kind of a casual manner and then fires the ball through the 5-hole.
Second goal of the night for Tutton. Bouquet looks like he's given up some fairly soft goals tonight. I mean, yes, you're alone in front of the net, but it's not exactly the toughest shot to stop.
Yeah, I think he was a little deceived because of the way Chad Tutton went about shooting that. I don't think he was quite ready for the ball to come out with that kind of velocity on the release because of the kind of casual way he dropped his stick. It was like a change in speed from his body movement into the actual shot. And nice to see Chad Tutton doing a good job in the 5-on-5 offensive set.
Brody McDonald with another save there. And the 6-goal lead, the largest of the game for the Swarm. As Mallory with the shot and a save from McDonald right down low. Talked about just making the simple direct ones right there, and that's what McDonald has done this whole third quarter.
Yep, those are the ones we have to have.
So we're under a minute left. The Swarm have a 6-goal lead. Matisse getting double teamed and then ends up losing it, but it's picked up by Stotts, who cuts right towards the net and scores!
Wasn't as clean as the last one, but again, they went into pick and roll. I think they must have decided that the Colorado defenders are a little susceptible in the pick and roll. This is a pick and roll. It ends up in a broken play. Sees an opportunity to get to the net and picks the other corner from his earlier one and puts it up top left.
Well, Bouquet, who came into the game with 11.7 goals against average, giving up 14 here in just 3 quarters. Stotts with his second goal of the game. Now 27 goals on the season.
And right now the Swarm is playing with confidence. Playing with confidence.
And they just saw cutting through the Mammoth defense with Mitch Belisle banging around a little bit as he's wont to do at times.
He looked like a fullback.
Yeah.
In the middle there.
Swarm will try to hold for a last shot here. There is about a 4-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, but they get the shot off, and it's saved from Bouquet. And the horn sounds, and the third quarter ends with the Swarm doubling up the Colorado Mammoth, who have the best record in the league. They lead 14-7. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
When do you know an age has come? How do you know that an era has arrived?
Noble shooting, scoring! How about that?
Ages are a collection of single events and experiences that are remembered in the heart, not recalled in the mind. In this moment, right here and right now, we know we're coming of age.
Welcome to the NLL.
For tickets, visit ColoradoMammoth.com. Not many things can be achieved in no time with minimum effort and no sweat at all.
I know just the gift.
But Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our 4-star app. Go online to westernunion.com or visit one of our over 51,000 agent locations in the U.S. today. This is moving money for better.
The first time anybody watches an NLL game, the pace is something that takes you back.
With a 30-second shot clock, no matter what, there's a change of possession very quick.
It's a high-paced sport, but it's also really family-friendly. I mean, you can expect a lot of action.
Fastest game on 2 feet, like they say.
It was high energy, the music was great, the fans were awesome, and we just had a blast.
This copyright telecast of the National Lacrosse League Incorporated may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the National Lacrosse League.
Cherokee Casino Field on Infinite Energy Arena. We begin the fourth quarter with the Swarm coming back from the locker room. Now, we've talked a lot about how the Swarm have had trouble in the last 15 minutes, and it looks like Ed Como's trying something different, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, immediately at the end of that quarter, they all went straight to the bench, so it's clearly something they had planned on doing from the beginning. And he said he was going to make some changes. I don't know what happened in there, but hopefully it did something that's going to keep this energy going through the fourth quarter.
And we look at the stats right there. Score flip-flops. Georgia's up 14-7, but they've won face-off. They led in shots on goals. They've been great on the power play. Brian?
Yeah, the power play just absolutely huge. And also in that third quarter, did a fantastic job on Crawford and Jones. And the key thing being Jones had a goal, but that was a transition goal, right? It was with two defenders still out on the floor, and he got that one in the backside. But in terms of set offense, Crawford and Jones were pretty much taken out of the game in the third quarter.
And just show your keys to the game that we gave at the end of, or the beginning of the third quarter, I should say, and kind of holds the same here in the last 15 minutes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Brody McDonald, is he flashy, diving around, making crazy saves? No. Is he stopping the ball? Absolutely.
Ed Como talked about this just being a young team, and that's why they've kind of folded in the fourth quarter in previous games. They've led in 6 of the 9 fourth quarters of the 9 losses. They've led in 6 of them at some point in time. So it's a matter of having that kind of intestinal fortitude to hold on. I think this is the largest lead they've had in the fourth quarter of 7 goals.
Another nice save by McDonald.
So we'll see if the Swarm can kind of grow up a little bit here in the last 15 minutes against the team with the best record in the league.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy turnover there. He threw the ball up the floor. The defender didn't see him through it and broke to go to the bench. Just an unfortunate turnover for the Swarm there.
And there is Adam Jones, who already has a hat trick today, working the corner. Now over to Callum Crawford. Callum Crawford gets his shot stopped. He's been held relatively in check.
Yeah, and if Brody McDonald is stopping those, if he's shooting from the outside, if Brody McDonald is stopping those, the defense just gains confidence, knowing that if they shoot from the outside, it's not going in. Makes it much easier to play defense.
Matisse working down low, tries to send it cross field. Pass gets picked off. Ball's now loose on the turf. Let's take a look at Joey Cupido. Banged around and finally gets the ball.
I don't know what, they gave him some extra time there on the shot clock. It looked like they had possession. We put it back on the floor and they reset it again without the Swarm ever getting possession.
15 left to shoot for the Mammoth. And a shot hit the post. Crawford hit the crossbar, I should say. And it bounced straight down and then came back out to the Mammoth. But I'm sure Brody will take the assist.
You see, they're not in a hurry to step out on Crawford. They want to make him into a Dodger.
There's another one that hit the crossbar. And that ball goes over the boards into the stands. So Colorado will get a fresh 30. So on back-to-back shots, they found the iron. And now an errant pass gets loose and it's finally corralled by the Swarm. And we'll give that defense a little bit of a break. Here comes Krepintsek. He pulls back, hits the brakes. Krepintsek and Matisse head off, and Randy Stotts waits for help.
I like the patience, gets set up.
Shot and a save from Bouquet. Powlis had a good look right there.
Yeah, beautiful look. Just a rocket pass into the inside. Now fresh 30.
Give Miles Thompson credit for getting that rebound, hanging on the possession. And a missed pass to Jesse King.
Yeah, a nice pass, though, by Randy Stotts to get that ball inside there. It really was a catchable ball.
Miles with a shot and a save from Bouquet. And his errant pass out to Gaich is picked up by the Swarm. Here comes Chad Tutton.
That last shot by Miles Thompson is partially an attempt to score, but it's also a little bit of a reminder that we're not always going to throw it to the backside. Sometimes we're going to take that shot from the short side. You know, he looked across as he shot the ball. He was looking to the far side.
Miles again dumps it back to his brother. Lyle feeds it in the middle of King, and a shot and a save from Bouquet, and it hits the netting, so the Swarm will get a fresh 30.
I don't know if I've ever seen a game where a team has been able to catch the ball in front of the goal, square up like that so many times. It really is the soft spot in this Colorado defense.
And Lyle's shot goes off the backboard into the back of the net.
A little bit of a twister there by Lyle, but it looked like it slipped off the top of the stick and just went high.
And he got a good pick and roll from his brother.
Yes. Yep.
Well, also being Native American Heritage Day here at the Hive, it's also National Sibling Day, so that would have been a fitting goal for the Thompson brothers to put together.
Great day for the Thompsons.
Here comes Crawford. He gets double teamed, 8 left to shoot. Burke at the top sends a shot that's wide, does not hit the net. And now you get a fast break opportunity here as Drew Petkoff looks for help when they finally gets it. He didn't look like he wanted that fast break opportunity.
And again, they handle Crawford without giving up anything on the backside. Crawford really looks like he's starting to second guess himself on whether he wants to shoot the ball.
And Powell has fed it back to Jackson, who lost the ball. And here come the Mammoth. Downing with a pass to Jones, and Brody with another save, and a long rebound comes back out to Tutton, who goes down one-on-one on the net, and a shot and a save from Bouquet. But a rebound from Jesse King. Go ahead.
I love Chad Tutton's choice there to physically slam the defender to get himself to the middle of the floor for the opportunity to score in transition there.
Lyle gives it over to Miles, who sends it in the middle. Could not connect with King, but Shane Jackson gets the rebound. Back behind the net, in front, and score! And we get some extracurricular activity, a cross-check right on Lyle Thompson after he scored.
Colorado's a little frustrated. Guys are getting wide open in front of the net, and I said before, they're catching the ball, looking, shooting it, and never getting hit. I think Colorado on that one decided they were going to hit somebody, but too bad, guys, the ball's already in the net.
And that was Lyle Thompson who scored and then paid the price for it as he jaws back and forth with Robert Hope. Hope also without his helmet. And I think we're going to get matching simultaneous penalties here.
And really got to give credit to the coaching staff in finding this soft spot in the Colorado defense. Colorado does a great job of pressuring, a great job of doubling. They anchor down in the corners, and what's open with all this pressure is the inside of the floor, and Colorado's done a great job of getting in there and getting the ball there.
All right, so we got 2 players from each team in the box right now. Jesse King and Miles Thompson for the Swarm, and it was Greg Downing and I think Robert Hope. We're going to get this sorted out here from the officials, but we'll get 5-on-5 lacrosse to continue. These guys will just get some time to cool off in the penalty box.
And most importantly,
the goal count still.
And Georgia Swarm is up by 8 goals.
So they get a look at King and Miles.
The penalty's on the play. Georgia, number 2, match penalty, high stick. Georgia, number 19, 2 minutes, dead ball foul. Colorado Mammoth, 2 minutes, dead ball foul, 2 minutes, dead ball foul.
So the dead ball fouls are the extracurricular activity after the goal was scored.
Yeah, he didn't give a number on that last week. Just said dead ball foul twice in a row.
It's Creighton Reed in the box. No, they move it out. And they get Ilya Gaichko's in the box. So they sort it out. Nonetheless, when it's all said and done, the Swarm have an 8-goal lead. 9:31 left in the 4th quarter. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast. Ed Como getting the explanation from Ian Garrison. There's the goal from Thompson.
I think it was the slash. It was that late slash that
up to Robert Hope that knocked his helmet off.
Yeah, well, and it was the late slash to Miles that caused Miles to turn around and respond to Hope. That initial slash by Hope after the goal did not get called, which is often the case.
It's always the second guy.
It's always the second guy that gets caught.
Regardless of all that, it is an 8-goal lead for the Swarm, 15-7. And again, we're still at even strength on both sides. But we're getting 4-on-4 lacrosse right now. So it's not 5-on-5, but 4-on-4 lacrosse.
4-on-4 lacrosse.
And we get a goal right there from Callum Crawford. They're saying no goal. Crease violation. So it's the second goal that Crawford's had pulled away.
Not crease violation on the shooter. Obviously, he was on the outside, but there was another offensive player in the crease when the goal was scored, which is a crease violation.
And so 4-on-4 lacrosse presents its own set of challenges here from the standpoint of it's great offensively because there's a lot more space, but defensively much harder to defend.
Right, and I think probably plays a little bit better into the Colorado Mammoth defense due to their speed. It's easy to cover ground, play match up in those one-on-one matchups. Just for a clarification, in box lacrosse, you're often allowed to travel through the crease. It's not something that's called as rigidly as field. But if you're in the crease when the goal is scored, it's absolutely called. Or if you use the crease as an advantage to cut through to get to a ball, they will call it, even though they don't necessarily call it just because someone wanders through the crease. If it doesn't impact the play, they just let them play on. In that instance, it was in the crease while the ball was being scored. It's considered a distraction to the goalie, so the goal doesn't count.
And you're getting a look at our crew chief, Ian Garrison, who's been busy. Welcome back to Harris Cherokee Casino Field at Infinite Energy Arena. It's Georgia Swarm Lacrosse. I'm Mark Zinno, joined by Brian Silcott. It's a 15-8 lead for the Swarm as we're nearing 9 minutes left here in the final 15 minutes of play. And during the last several games, including during this 5-game losing streak, the fourth quarter has plagued the Swarm. But so far, through the first almost 6 minutes, they seem to have a firm grasp on things, Brian.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about the energy in the fourth quarter, and that's, I guess, the positive of Miles' reaction there was a physical, energized, he's getting slashed, he turned around and cross-checked the guy back. So I'm sure Ed Cuomo, on one instance, wouldn't want to have that penalty, but he's also loves the fight in his guys in the fourth quarter, and they're up on the energy right now and going to carry this through, I think.
And again, because of the extracurricular activity after the Miles Thompson goal that made it 15-7, we have 4-on-4 lacrosse right now, which is a little bit odd from the standpoint of there were 2 dead ball fouls, and 3 of the 4 penalties were dead balls. So I'm not sure why they went to 4-on-4.
Well, I think because Miles was a match penalty, so he's off. I think that, and so they match it.
Shane Jackson with a behind the head pass that almost found its target. Would have been very pretty. And now Lyle loses the ball, and Chad Tutton chucks it in the corner, get a shot clock violation of the Swarm.
Because if they'd stayed with the 5-and-5, when the other penalties are released, the Colorado would not get their advantage. But because Miles still has to be in the box, they have to start in 4-on-4. So when Colorado's released, they get their man advantage.
Right. And they lose the ball in the offensive end, and the Swarm get it. So there's just about 40 seconds left in the match penalties, and when that ends, the Mammoth will go on a 2-minute power play.
3 minutes, because it's 5.
That's right, sorry, 3 minutes, thank you. And all that is because Miles Thompson, after his goal, here's his brother Lyle, and a shot that hits off the crossbar, deflects into the netting.
And that's specifically because Miles' check was to the head. It's something with all our awareness around concussions, it's a much more severe penalty, especially a direct blow with a cross check to the head. They give a 5-minute penalty on that.
15 seconds left. And here is Stotts, who tries to dump in the middle to a cutting Shane Jackson. It misses, but Paulus finds it and dumps it in the net.
Well, again, it's a little end of the scrappy play, but it's a rebound play. It's another opportunity with the ball, and it's the ball going the Georgia Swarm way tonight, which is a beautiful thing to see.
You'll see here the pass miss. It was deflected, and there's Johnny Powell, the recipient of it, and buries it right over Bouquet's shoulder.
Didn't hesitate. And another goal from the center of the floor. Bouquet is letting in a lot of goals, but he's seeing a lot of tough shots tonight.
So Powell joins Lyle Thompson as they both have hat tricks. And quickly the Swarm come out on offense. Oh, Joel White with almost another goal. He's so fast.
He looks extremely fast tonight. I think he had his Wheaties this morning.
So the penalty box for the Mammoth is clear. And
so now they have the power play advantage.
Yes. For the next 2:40, they will have a man advantage. 6 left to shoot. And Adam Jones buries it right past Brody McDonald and brings it back to a 8-goal game, rather, 16-8.
That's the first time Brody's looked 4.
Adam Jones with 4 goals on the evening. Came into tonight's game 15th in the NLL in scoring. That's his 10th power play goal of the year. And so the man advantage still remains for the Mammoth here.
Yes, because on a 5-minute penalty, it's 2 goals to release it. A normal 2-minute penalty, a goal releases it. On a 5-minute penalty, they're allowed to score 2 goals before the penalty is released.
So thankfully the Swarm have built a little bit of a cushion here. I mean, we can't really take anything for granted at this point in time in the final 15 minutes. And a shot right there hit the post. Oh, McDonald was beat, and that shot hit the post. It came all the way back into near the defensive zone of the Mammoth. They'll get a fresh 30. It's kind of weird, Brian, because that's the 3rd post or crossbar that's been hit in the 4th quarter. And it seems like in games past when the ball hasn't bounced the Swarm way, those go in. And tonight they're hitting the post.
Yeah, or it's the Swarm that's hitting the post,
exactly.
Right? Instead of the other team.
Here's Mike Berg with a long shot save from McDonald. And a fresh 30 for the Mammoth. Still $1:20 left in the penalty, and that one goes in. And that was Mike Berg with his 2nd of the evening.
I think we are going to get that penalty call.
It looked like it was Downing and Sullivan.
Or maybe not. I thought the officials were going to converse about that. Looks like that is not going to be any penalty though.
Well, we have 4:16 left and a 7-goal lead for the Swarm as they try to close out a victory over the Mammoth. You're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on Fox Sports Southeast.
My little brother's birthday is today. I have an idea.
Western Union makes sending money across the country easy. Download our app, go online to westernunion.com, or visit one of over 51,000 agent locations today.
That was easy.
This is moving money for better.
The first time anybody watches an NLL game, the pace is something that takes you back.
With a 30-second shot clock, no matter what, there's a change of possession very quick.
It's a high-paced sport, but it's also really family-friendly. You can expect a lot of action.
Fastest game on 2 feet, like they say.
It was high energy, the music was great, the fans were awesome, and we just had a blast.
Players clearly intentionally staying on Matisse and actually has his arm around him, holding him down. Colorado's pulled the goaltender here.
So they are looking for the extra attacker as you're at desperation moment. You're under 4 minutes left, and it is a save, and you can see Alex Bouquet running into the net to get back on defense. Now, the last time the Swarm scored at least 16 goals in a game was their last victory at Buffalo when they won 19-15. Stotts now working back to McIntosh, feeds in the middle. Matisse with an extra pass and a goal. Wow.
Georgia was basically playing 4-on-5 on offense there. They had pulled someone back that was just waiting to make sure they didn't give transition the other side, and just a beautiful pass.
I wasn't sure that, I thought Matisse was going to shoot it, and he throws the extra pass right there to Stotts, who buries it.
I would like to. He may have been trying to shoot that. Although if we go to the locker room, I'm sure he'd tell us that was an intentional pass.
Stotts joins teammates Lyle Thompson and Johnny Paulus, who both have hat tricks today, and the Swarm a 17-9 advantage. Season high for goals for the Swarm this year is 20. That was in a win at Toronto.
You can say what you want about, the Colorado was missing 2 of their really star offensive players, but the reality what this game has been about is Georgia's ability to take advantage of what Denver considers their strength, which is their defense. We put up 16 goals on them. Just a really, really nice showing by the Georgia Swarm's offense.
Well, give credit not only to the Swarm, but to you as well. Talked about slowing down Callum Crawford, and they've done that. I mean, they have kept him in check. Yeah,
absolutely, and they've done it without needing to give up things on the left side either.
Crawford just 1 goal on the game. I mean, Adam Jones has got 4, but when you talk about a team that has a lot of offensive firepower, and keeping one of those main guys in check, and a long goal right there from Callum Crawford, basically thrown from near midfield, and I'm not sure how Brody missed it, but
through a lot of traffic on its way to the net.
I mean, look where he's shooting this thing from. Just chucks it.
Oh, it actually deflected off the Colorado players. I don't think Crawford probably will not get credit for that goal.
Eli McLaughlin was the guy who tipped it.
I think that'll probably be changed later on, because I think that deflected off McLaughlin.
And now you got Cameron Holden working towards the net, and a shot from Mike Woods. And Brody comes up with a save. Back to a 7-goal game. as we near 2 minutes left in the contest, and now Colorado going to pull the goalie. And oh, by the way, they made a goalie change. Zach Boychuk came in net. And we'll see how Colorado works on a 6-on-5 advantage. And a save from McDonald off the shot from Adam Jones.
I think Wojcik's probably in as the more athletic goalie.
Because he can run quicker. It's a longer distance.
And they're at the side where it's a long run to the bench.
Yeah. And the Mammoth working behind the net. Crawford at the top of the offensive zone with a long shot that is deflected and goes into the stands.
The Swarm packing it in here, protecting the inside.
And the Swarm take over, and they'll wait. I mean, they had an open shot if they really wanted to go at the net, but I think they're more concerned with maintaining the possession and killing clock.
Absolutely, and Jordan McIntosh really, he's the captain for a reason, showing his smarts there. Wow, that's a silly turnover right there. A guy coming off the bench just wasn't even aware that the ball was being thrown to him and almost hit him.
And Petkoff with some defense as McDonald makes the save. And we're under 60 seconds left here as the Swarm look like they're going to go on to their first victory since February 20th when they beat Buffalo in Buffalo. It's been a tough go of things since then. 5 consecutive losses going to come to an end this evening against the best team in the league, the Colorado Mammoth.
And we talked a lot about the fourth quarter, and they played it, not just the fourth quarter, but an outstanding second half here out of the Georgia Swarm.
And the Swarm will snap a 5-game losing streak. They'll get their first win here at home on this homestand. And doing it against one of the best teams in the league, it's got to feel good for the entire, everybody on the bench right now. All these players, they've been starved for a win for a while.
Absolutely, and they don't look, they're in a tough spot in terms of the playoffs, but they do not consider themselves to be done. They have a mathematical chance, and their goal is to go out and win every game they can, and hoping that the chips fall the right way, and they get an opportunity to move on in the playoffs. And their goal is to be playing their best lacrosse over these next few weeks.
And with that, we have 0.6 seconds left, so waiting for the horn to sound, and that's it. The Swarm get a win over the Colorado Mammoth, 17-10. And you could see the celebration from the players and the fans. I mean, this has been a long time coming. They've earned this one, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, I think, for the players is a combination of the relief and the joy in winning it. Relieved that, okay, we can do this. And I'm sure as soon as they get back in the locker room, they're going to be talking about the next game. They're going to enjoy this win, but we got to carry this into next week and get another win.
And they got to feel good finally putting together 4 quarters of solid lacrosse. And when you do it against a team who came into this game with the best record in the league at 10-3, they have to feel good about this victory.
And in all phases, they played some pretty good defense. They played well in offense. They ran a bit in transition, and the power play that we talked a lot about has been struggling. The power play, I think, was 5 of 6 during the moments when this game was still being contested.